Hi, this is Mike with Dynasty, and today we're going to go over 10 lessons I learned from Dynasty Fantasy Football from playing for about 5 years now. Let's go down the list. Start with never draft day three running backs in the first round of a rookie draft. I learned that lesson my first year. I drafted Justice Hill, and he didn't pan out and do anything. So that was my first one. The next one on my list is trade upper tier running backs for upper tier receivers, especially if they're on, you know, year four, year five. You want to trade them for similar tier receivers in the same range. For example, if you have a running back 10, try and trade them for a wide receiver 10 if you can. Especially if the wide receiver is around 26 or younger. Definitely do that move. Another move to make is the next one on my list is trade for wide receivers to running backs in a similar tier if the wide receiver is not good. For example, if somebody's outside of the top 50 wide receiver range, just try and trade them for a running back in the same range. Just off the top of my head, I can think of somebody like Darnell Mooney. Maybe you could trade across to a backup running back on a team. The next one is never trade three first round picks for a running back. I learned that lesson. I traded for Cam Akers after year one. He had a pretty good year, and he was being really hyped up. And that was a mistake I learned real hard. That was probably my worst move I ever made. And then never. The next one on my list is never be afraid of selling guys who are around 30 years old, especially if you're in a rebuild. I did this when I first started. I sold Julio Jones and for two first round picks and a second round pick. And the one first round pick ended up turning into Justin Jefferson. Got really lucky there, but it did work out for me. Um, my team was in a rebuild. I took over an orphan that was 4-12, and it was a move I was looking to make just to refresh the lineup. Um, Next one I have on my list is avoid drafting wide receivers after the NFL draft that are beyond the mid second round of the NFL draft. So it'll be your top 32 guys in the first round, I'm good with. And then maybe like the top 16 in the second round, I'm good with. T. Higgins and Pittman have came from the early second round. Your hit rate on third, even second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way to the end of the draft is extremely low. The first round's even about 50%. So you want to take shots on running backs instead of receivers once you hit that range. The next one on my list is never draft tight ends in the first round of a rookie draft. We've had plenty of guys over the years who haven't hit. Um, Pitts hit that 1 year, and that's been it. We had guys in the past like O.J. Howard and many examples in the past. So if you want to take a shot on tight end, last year is a perfect example. The second round, you could take a shot on Laporta, and he ended up panning out pretty well. The next one I have on the list is roster as many running backs as possible. So this strategy comes into play because injuries at the running back position occur more often than any other position. So you want to have as many of them on your roster as possible, especially to back up running backs on teams. And the next one I have is don't be afraid to overpay for elite players. So elite players would be about 15 players across the league. You might have about three quarterbacks. We have about like five tight ends right now. Wide receivers, I would guess around like 5, 6 right now. And then running backs the same, about 5, 6. So each position has about I would guess 15 to 20 elite players, and don't be afraid to overpay for them. So if someone's asking for an additional second, third thrown in, definitely do it to get the deal done. Um, the next one I have on my list is do not be afraid to buy older, productive wide receivers. Guys, for example, this year will be Hopkins, Kupp, Amari Cooper, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen. You can get some of them for second round picks. You can get some of them for second plus something thrown in. The only thing is, you don't want to make this move unless your team is a contender. So they're guys you can get cheap that produce. They'll give you about 15 points a game or even higher, like Keenan Allen did last season. So they're my 10 lessons I learned from Dynasty over the 5 years. Have a great day.